Hi, good morning. My name is Nehemias Severino de la Cruz. I was born and raised in the Dominican Republic, and my occupation is English teacher. And I've got around 10 years of experience teaching English as a second language. The title of my final task is Metacognitive Sheet based on the Guide of American English Teachers. Introduction. In the present video, I will develop a metacognitive sheet as part of the conclusion of the Diplomat American English Teacher's Guide, where I will approach my learning in this process of acquisition about new methodologies for applying in classrooms in order to maximize my students' potential in the English language. This is a mind map about the functions and readings used each week. Okay, questions. The first one is, what have I learned about the resources myself as a teacher, my students, teaching and or my teaching context during this course? Well, to tell the truth, I've learned a lot of things from this guide. It drove me to understand the importance to what activities in your planning as a good resource in order to develop my students' competencies. It means my students have the guarantee to get the ability for using the language in many aspects, such as communicative competence, linguistic competence, and discourse competence. So if I get my students to get these competencies, it'll be great for them and for them inherit. My teaching context during this course has been highly measured up with the main purpose to apply all the knowledge to my students that I've gotten from this diplomato. Question number 2. What are my future plans in regard to these resources? Well, be part of this diplomato. It's a warning sign of what the future holds to give continuity to this process as soon as the new school year begins. Set all the resources or activities in my planning. Start from scratch, and at the end to make an evaluation of the process. Question number 3. How was my experience planning and implementing these resources in my classroom? Well, my experience planning and implementing these resources has been gratifying because I've realized about the potential that I can get from my students applying this material. So through this one, my students can maximize their competencies. Question number 4. How do I think my students' experience was when using their resources? How do I know this? Please offer concrete examples. Well, my students' experience was thrilling, even though at the beginning it was a little difficult for them because it was a new way to learn English. I had worked within other types of resources and they were used to these activities, but finally, when they got it, they had a great time. I know it because their interest in completing the activities they strove themselves. There was a cooperative learning and desire to do the things well. There was an area of competition, but in a good way. And those things helped me to measure learners' ability to communicate effectively. Question number 5. What 2, 3 ideas or concepts are most meaningful to me about designing readings, videos? Why? Well, number 1, week 3 video, communicative approach can leave students in suspense as to the outcome of a class exercise, which will vary according to the reactions and responses. Number 2, week 4, reading. I took from the reading this important information, this important idea that I consider really important. Native speakers employ 2,500 words to cover their needs. So it's very important to teach to my students or the importance of learning vocabulary, new words, and expressions in order to get importance in order to cover their needs in a speaking process. Number 3, week 7, reading, how to teach writing. My golden nugget, I took my golden nugget for this reading. Writing is the effective way. Writing is the effective way to express oneself about the things we consider through one point of view. Question number 6. What was my favorite resource for the guide? Why? How did it help students in their learning? My favorite resource was function number 46, asking for and offering explanation and reasons. I worked with additional resource number one, jobs and occupations. This activity helped students identify different kinds of occupations and three list rank then in how stressful or how well paid they are. This activity was useful for them because there was an interaction between them trying to order their rank, and afterwards there was an explanation in groups of three about what they did related with the ranking. In this process, students gave their point of view, so the communicative competence was developed in 100%. Final question. What advice would I give to other teachers wanting to use the resources? Why? My piece of advice would be that American English Teacher's Guide is one of the best English material I've ever seen in my whole life. I based all my 10 years of experience teaching English as a second language, so I highly recommend it for those teachers who want to get good results in their teaching process. If you want to get good results in teaching language, implement this resource because it has what teachers need in order to maximize our students' potential in English language acquisition. So this was the final question. This diplomado was one of the best things that happened to my life, and I've learned a lot. So thanks, Carlos, because you did a great job as a coach. My congratulations for you, for the rest of the team. God bless you to you all. Bye.